What's up, everybody? I'm sitting here on a Friday, and there is absolutely nothing to look at. Um, there are zero good stocks today. Nothing looks good. So I am probably not going to be trading much at all today, especially not at the open. I don't have a single stock that I want to trade at the open today, so I'll probably just be sitting around. Maybe something will pop up in the next 30 minutes to an hour. And we'll just have to see what happens. But the big thing today is to pay attention to news, make sure I know exactly what's going on with the stock, pay attention to the market cap. If it's a small cap stock and I'm looking at it, then I don't have a reason to be looking at the SPY. I can be looking at the Russell 2000 instead of the small cap or something like that. I need to pay more attention to the supply and demand areas on the daily. Need to let my winners run a little bit more, or at least give them a chance to work. I've been cutting off my trades probably a little too early. I think that's the whole fear thing of trying to limit my losers. At the same time, I'm limiting my winners too, and I need to try and slow that down. I had a whole bunch of psychology stuff on here, so I need to think to myself, where am I physically, emotionally, and cognitively? When am I feeling like I can't take the trade? Fear of joining the trade. Make a checklist on how I'm feeling throughout the day. Where is my emotional state? What would it take to get me to the peak of my emotional state? Imagine yourself in a bad situation but calm, and the same way with a good situation but calm, to try and get my mind straight in the right zone. Gotta visualize. Mentally rehearsing doing the right thing. It's okay to take a step back and reset. Just regroup. Make sure that your mind's in the right place, because you don't want to be taking any trades that you obviously shouldn't be taking. What were you thinking about whenever you were taking the trade? What looked good to you? So that's one thing that I gotta start doing again too, is before I hop in a trade, I want to write down and start taking screenshots of the trade, and I want to say, okay, this looked good because X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to take it because X, Y, and Z is going to happen. So pay attention to the big red bars. Big red bars with low volume means profit taking, and high volume is shorts coming in. Pay attention to the VWAP. Make sure you're looking out for the reversals and the resistance and the bounces off of it. Cut my losses quicker. Every candle means something, especially the red bars. And then I got my reversal list to look at. Make sure that my reversals are much cleaner and more towards my setup instead of hopping in too early. I know on that AOBC yesterday, the first trade that I took on it was probably too early, but the second trade that I took on it was a legitimate trade, but I should have gotten out earlier on it after I realized that it was still slowly creeping up and bouncing off of that 22 area. But I'm sitting here still looking around, not really seeing anything, so I'll flip back on if I see anything. Okay, I'm looking at SEMO here. I'm probably going to short it if it gets back to the 45 level here. See, I had a big gap down, popping back up, failing to move higher, and it's been bouncing off of this 45 for a while now. Alright, I am short. Stop loss will be right above this 26 here. SPY's kind of starting to roll over. Apple is rolling over, so is the tech sector. So I think we got a pretty good shot here. See on the daily too, it's been moving down and just had a big gap down today. It had a bad earnings.
DHI, SLTA.
I do want to have that in just in case. Can move kind of quick. You're looking to take a partial at 75.
DHI. SLTA.
See, it's kind of got the line there. Let's see what happens.
DHI. SLTA.
See, on the 5s it's starting to move. Stopped out 25, minus 50. Okay, I'm looking to long NUE here at 75. It's starting to get way overextended here. Failed to move lower, had a nice pop up. Came back, failed to move lower, and now we're slowly creeping up with the volume. The 75 is going to be the break up here for the 5s. On the 15s it's getting a doji right now, and then still over the 75. I added the 10-minute chart too, because sometimes the bars look pretty good on the 5s, and I just want to check out the 10 too. Okay, hopping in here at 74. Stop loss will be right below this, so 45.
SLTA.
This 32 keeps showing up again. I want to see how it reacts. It keeps moving with it too.
Help.
don't like this. I don't like how this 32 keeps showing up over and over again. So I'm thinking there's somebody that's really trying to make this stock go down. So if I get around 60, I should probably just exit the trade. The SPY actually looks like it's getting ready to move lower too. SPY's ripping up. Well, I don't see him anymore, so he might be gone. And there he is again. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Okay. Only 22 wasn't that big of a disaster. I ended up adding on accident. What was I even... If I put a stop at a buy, 59, yeah, because it was already past it, it got me in. Okay. Well, that's too bad. Because it didn't even get to where I wanted to exit, but... I don't know. We'll see what happens later, I guess. Okay, I'm going to be done for the day, so I'm going to do a quick recap. First trade I took was SEMO. See, the daily's got an uptrend, and then today it was gapping down on poor earnings. So I was looking at the 1 minute chart here, and it had a big gap down. I was, what, 47 to 43, so about 7-8%. It moved straight up right at the open, and then it was kind of topping out here, and it was struggling to break under 45, so I figured I'd hop in with stop loss over 25. It kept bouncing off of it. It kept trying. It was getting tighter and tighter, and then the pop happened just the wrong way, and it squeezed me out over the top. I don't really know what happened that was bad about this trade. I guess it was obviously a down gapper, and it moved up, and it was trying to move slower, trying to move under the 45, but it just couldn't break it. So I mean, maybe it has something to do with the market, because the market was moving up around the time. See, this in here is probably what caused it to not reverse anymore. Same with the sector, but maybe that's something I need to be looking into, is how well it matches with the SPY. So ended up taking the full stop loss on that one, and then the second trade that I took was NUE for the reversal. See, on the 15's got the 3 down, then we got the doji, and then the 5 stroke consolidation, and then I took it, just taking it over the highs of the 75 here. Ended up making a mistake, adding to my position instead of just putting in the stop loss, and I freaked out and I ended up exiting the whole position for a $22 loss. But it probably wasn't that big of a deal, because that guy that was over here showing the 32 over and over again on the offer, trying to make the stock go down, you can see it slowly moved up, just very slowly, which shouldn't be good enough for me. You know, you kind of want to see it make pretty much the exact same V shape, but this is kind of more like a sideways L or something. So it ended up being another small loser this time, but I should have gotten out of the trade anyway, probably where I did, because it just wasn't enough. One of the things that I need to be making sure that I'm doing next week is I have to be taking the perfect setups. It can't be anything short of perfect, especially in a market like this where things are moving so slow. Because what I usually do is I look at the SPY as like a volume kind of indicator for the general market, and usually around 9-10 we're sitting around 10, 11, 12 million shares traded, and today we're only at maybe 8. So I mean, today was definitely a very slow Friday for the whole market, which is probably another indicator that breakouts aren't going to be that extreme. There's not that much follow through in stocks. Same with the reversals. So I mean, if I want to be taking any kinds of trades in this kind of market environment, it's got to be absolutely perfect. So for this week, I'm down 175, 215 through commissions. You can see the 3 for 11, definitely not great on my win rate. I'll wait for that to load. Only one winning day, and I mean, it was $1. I mean, you can't even really count that as a winning day. But I said this week that I need to focus on cutting my losses faster and managing my risk a little bit better, and I kind of did. The only real problem today was the SEMO and the AOBC. Obviously taking the full stop and then some on the AOBC, which really killed me in my profits, or I guess less of. I mean, if I cut out that AOBC trade, which I shouldn't have taken at all due to the news, I mean, that's an extra $125 there. So I mean, I'd only be down a trade for the week, which really just goes to show how slow this week has been. I mean, winners aren't that big, losers aren't that big. So I mean, that's something that I really gotta pay attention to, especially next week. I know through earnings season kind of makes the market much different, and we're getting pretty close here to come back into it. See, this week there's not that much. 18, we're really starting to pick up here on this week, and then the 25th there, and this whole week is where it looks like things are really going to start picking up again. So I got a couple more weeks of this type of environment to really figure out what's going on. Definitely got to do some more practicing and figuring out what went right during these weeks as opposed to what's going on now. Something I got to pay attention to is how the SPY and all the volume was and everything during these areas. But one thing I got to make sure, the things that I really got to work on for next week is cutting my losses again and making sure that the setup is clean. It's got to be perfect. Making sure that the volume is good. Because that's definitely one indicator that I shouldn't be skipping over as the volume, because the volume is one of the biggest ones that'll show you how much of a reversal or how much of a breakout that you're going to be looking at here. And you can see on these trades it's a decent amount of volume here compared to these two candles, but obviously you would want to see more, especially on the ones here. If it was going to break at any time, probably should have been right here, but I mean it still had a good setup here for the breakout under 45. It just didn't happen. Probably due to the market. The SPY was popping up, and the same with the sector too. But obviously just the way it goes. So I will be back again on Monday. Thanks for watching.